Hello and welcome to They Bleed Pixels.
Hmm. Hot
And
topic,
indeed,
the action platformer.
yeah, action platformers. They're having a resurgence, but they really had a moment in the 2010s, thanks to
Yeah, you had
Superior Meat Boy.
this Super Meat Boy, um, Fly Wrench, lots of random platformers just coming out of nowhere. All of them super difficult.
Yeah, really, it was a thing you could do purely on design, and the visuals didn't really matter, so indie developers could really sink their teeth into it. This game actually looks really, really good, in addition to being relatively well designed, to the best of my recollection.
Yeah, I got it back when it first came out. Played it for a good long while. Do not remember a single thing about it other than being really difficult and, as I said, being like pure distilled hot topic circa 1999.
Absolutely likewise. Let's actually elucidate that for the audience with this free title screen cutscene that I had to skip, but here it is now. I love that the developer put his own tag in the cutscene, apparently.
Yeah, I remember the Lafcadio Academy just because it's such a weird name.
This is the sort of place you'd want to put troubled girls with statues of, like, murderers.
Squid monsters, vampire squid monsters.
Yep.
Free Athame and spellbook in every room. That's the worst way to cut your hand. You will only get an infection.
Yep. You lose tendons that way. And yep, that's all the story we have so far. Lovecraftian nonsense going on in the attic of our new girls' school, I guess. To difficulty levels, those are always nice.
That wasn't in the game when I first played it. That must have been patched in.
That might have been a new addition for the Steam release.
I've got it on Steam, but I think they must have added a lot to it because I remember none of this.
Yeah, I believe it did get several updates since its release on Steam. Initially, this was designed and developed and released on the Xbox Live indie game service, XBlig.
Xbug.
Classic purveyors of fantastic video games that everyone loves.
Everyone loves and nobody played.
One of my favorite developers, Ska Studios, got their start on XBlig, so it wasn't all bad.
Dishwasher, Vampire Smile, and Charlie Murder.
Yeah. But that was well after he graduated out of XBlig.
She's doing the colon 3 face.
Yep. Yeah, this game loves to be cutesy and hyper violent. It's
Hence why it's like hot topic as fuck.
indeed. Also, it's got some HP Lovecraft worship.
Yep.
Who didn't?
Reminds me a bit of Eversion, if you ever played that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was cutesy. Again, this also came at a time when there were some really cutesy platformers that were also incredibly hyper violent or had horror elements to it. And it starts off being like a pseudo Mario kind of game, but it opens with a H.P. Lovecraft quote.
That's not an accident.
No,
It's very
it
Lovecraft
is-
inspired.
It's a very cool game, but it's also very difficult.
Yeah, the controls in Eversion do not stand up. I have played it recently. It is questionable.
Yeah, it's a game I've been meaning to play myself. A replay, I should say, because I played the free version and then I played the paid-for version. And it's a game I keep meaning to go back and play just because it was, at the time, very clever, very creative, but pretty much every single indie platformer that came out at the time ripped it off mercilessly.
True, yeah, it was highly influential. And
highly copied.
yeah. I literally played through the entirety of it. Like, last month, I think?
Yeah,
It'd be worth a look, but it's like an hour and a half long, if that.
Yeah, if you're not going for the alternate endings or all the pickups, then you can get through it in an afternoon.
Yep.
Single sitting.
Optional bonus stuff. I think I need a checkpoint. That did not seem to have left a checkpoint. Thank you.
Yeah. I think, if I remember right, you get checkpoints by killing enemies.
Yeah, as they die, it's charging up the meter up there, yeah. Oh, I probably should have jumped twice. Whoop. Doing it again. All the checkpoints right over there. We're fine. That's the like main gimmick, and one of the most clever design choices is you get to place your checkpoints. You decide where you get a checkpoint.
There was another game that was kind of similar to this that came out around the same time where you could just put checkpoints wherever you wanted. Cannot remember what it is now, though. But I remember...
I want to say there's a game called Love. A series called Love, actually. Not Love Actually.
Hugh Grant, tactical strike action.
Yeah. But yeah, that also has the opportunity to place checkpoints wherever you feel like it.
Was it Noituma Love?
No. Just Love. Love 1, Love 2, Love 3.
Remember, that's another series of kind of difficult platformers.
Yeah. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
I've been playing one called Sunblaze. I recently got for free on Good Old Games. Probably should have left a checkpoint there. Yeah,
a game encourages you to leave checkpoints before or after every big platforming section.
Be wise to obey what they want for me. Because I've been playing a lot of platformers lately, but I'm still not like fantastic at them.
Yeah. Ori and the Blind Forest did it, but if I recall, that came out a fair bit later. Yeah. This came out 2012. I think that was about 2015, 16.
In fact, I want to say the Steam release of this came out in 2012. I'm pretty sure the original release was much earlier.
Wouldn't surprise me. I said when we were talking about it earlier, I got it confused with Dead Pixels, which is funny because it also came out a few months before this and was an Xbox Live indie game.
Yep. That's why I recognize the name.
Yeah. So I was just really confused.
Yep. Funny thing is, I looked it up, and there is a Dead Pixels 2 in development right now.
Yeah. I heard it was coming out. I don't know anything like what they're planning on doing with it other than it's supposedly going to be another like very chunky 8-bit style brawler shooter kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they're adding more procedurally generated elements. Cash in on roguelikes.
Well, it is the genre du jour.
Yeah. Hard to go wrong with a roguelike. But there is no planned release date for it yet, so might be a while.
Yeah.
Not exactly striking while the iron is hot. No one has talked about Dead Pixels besides us. In many years. Down I go.
And that's only because I got it confused for a completely different game.
Yep. Hard to get around that corner without getting hit.
Of course, all the combo ranks are classic HP Lovecraftianisms.
I missed that.
like Eldritch, Rugos, Gibbous,
Ah,
all of which are real words, but good luck finding anyone who doesn't use them who isn't a big fan of Lovecraft.
exactly. Yeah, that's the guy who put them in the popular vernacular.
Like cyclopean. Really just means something. I can't remember exactly what it means, but it's something like a large, imposing doorway
Hmm.
or entrance. I forget exactly which, but yeah, you hear it and you
Damn it.
think, okay, it's some kind of big monster. Nah, not even a little.
Yeah.
Just means scary architecture.
Well, that is Lovecraftian as hell. One of the things that guy was scared of was doorways.
It'd give Euclid nightmares.
Oh shit. It was like my wall grab didn't grab there.
In
Okay,
case
that was my fault.
people haven't noticed, that your previous corpses do they are permanent in the world.
Yeah, they do.
So you can see all the little girls that you've accidentally killed on your way over.
Which is exactly what any gamer wants, of course.
A certain type of gamer, certainly.
Graveyard of little girls in their wake.
You call it a graveyard, I call it a dead girl playground.
I'm
That's
certain
how
that's
exactly.
a new metal album.
Probably a Korn one.
Yeah.
Or Edema, which was the band led by Jonathan Davis's half-brother.
Yeah, practically a Korn band.
It might as well be.
Oh, you're kidding me. At my checkpoint, I was ready to go. But getting around that corner, he stabbed multiple times.
Gibbous is an astronomical term. Yeah, it's phase of the moon, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
I had to memorize all those because I played Spider Right of the Shrouded Moon, which has puzzles that can only be solved during certain phases of the moon in the real world.
So it takes notice of what the date is and alters it accordingly.
Precisely.
Yikes.
There's a speed run of it that is famously the longest speed run of all time because it is 25
18
full
months.
days long.
I remember some of the speedruns for Baton Kaitos. I think we've actually talked about them before.
Yeah.
The 100% speedruns, because some of the items that you get change depending on the amount of time that you've spent playing the game.
Mhm.
And one of them takes like 100 straight hours of in-game time
Mhm.
to transform into its final form. I think it's from milk to cheese. It goes milk to sour milk to cheese, or to yogurt to cheese, or something like that. So 100% speedruns, essentially, they go for the that they get like 99% of the cards,
Mhm.
and then once they get everything else done, they just add on like an extra 100 hours to be like, yep, and we got that one too. Because otherwise they would literally just be sitting there evaluating 100 hours of unmoving footage because someone's parked themselves in a dungeon.
Yeah. There are a few speedruns that have to do that.
Hmm.
Illbleed has it theoretically has a category where you don't save any of your friends. Doing that requires you to wait 20 minutes for the first of the friends to die
Yep.
because they have a time limit on their life. There's no way to speed it up because it's supposed to be a punishment.
Drakengard does that as well. There's a couple of stages where you need to wait 20 minutes in order to get a weapon.
God.
So if you are going for a 100% or all weapons run or all endings run, then you just sit there for 20 minutes. There's two separate weapons that do that, if I remember correctly.
Ugh. Yeah, those categories are not very popular, but Drakengard's not very popular, so...
Yeah, as we've said before, it's a game that you play for the story, or at least watch a playthrough of.
Did a dash one time. How did I do that? I like that, apparently.
think. Is it like a shoulder button or something? Oh! There's something just wronger than usual about that.
Yep.
It reminds me of some of the deaths in the Tomb Raider reboot. Like there's one where you're going down a log flume, kind of like the Goonies, and if you don't do everything in the, if you don't time everything correctly, Lara gets impaled face first in a log.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of those deaths are notoriously brutal, and like non-deaths are not super brutal in that game. Because like in the very beginning, you get impaled. The first thing you do in that game.
Yeah, even when I was playing it, even I was like, that seems a bit gratuitous.
Yeah. What? People have actually like complained that that game is too violent. Which is why I bought the trilogy. Still gotta play those games.
First one's good. Second and third are just kind of
Does seem like the sort of thing that only got sequels because it was fairly popular.
Yeah.
Not gigantically successful or anything. There's definitely going to be a secret page up there.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, can you tell Super Meat Boy was very popular when this came out?
Huh. I don't know what the point of that switch is. I guarantee I gotta flip that switch. I don't know how. That ain't it. Oh.
Speedy descent.
It's a bit of a like a Sonic Dash lock-on thing. There it is. Just point towards the target, and off you go.
Yeah, I know there's a juggle mechanic that you'll need to do for some of the later stages.
Yeah, there is.
I think that was probably about the point that I stopped playing because the platform challenges just got ridiculous.
Whoa, careful. There. Good spot for a checkpoint. Teaching us that we're allowed to go through large enough spikes as long as we don't hit the top.
As long as you don't jump on them, you can go through them.
Yeah. Only the bloody part counts. Ice physics, hooray.
Oh god. There's also unlockables for finishing stages without any checkpoints. Good luck with that.
Seriously. I want to say there are 8 chapters, but so many secrets and unlockables and crap in there.
Yeah, there is a lot to do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, remember the guest levels? Those were added. There's one set of levels which are drawn in crayon, like a child's drawing.
Yeah, I think you even play as like a unicorn version of the character.
Something like that, yeah. I remember them being added. Never actually got around to playing them myself, but they looked a lot of fun and pretty impressive visually.
Yeah, that's always a good sign when a platformer has like a modding scene. That's like an official modding scene that clearly the guy's friends helped with, but like Celeste is getting a huge modding scene, and obviously Super Mario World has the entire Kaizo community.
Yep. XCOM has tons and tons of mods available for it.
Yep.
All versions.
And Super Meat Boy has Super Meat World, where you can play.
Yeah, except you have to go through some
more games.
serious roundabouts in order to get any mods working with that.
I never tried. I tried playing Super Meat Boy recently, and it doesn't really hold up.
No. What happened was when they first brought in Super Meat World, someone discovered that there was some kind of glitch that could happen, which gave people access to your PC.
That's a problem.
Don't remember the exact details of it, but it was a serious problem. And the guy who found it basically went to Team Meat and said, "Look, you guys need to know about this because this is super fucked up and could potentially leave you open to a lot of lawsuits and leave a lot of people open to a lot of pain and misery." So rather than doing anything about it, because it was a simple fix, they just took down the ability to upload and do stuff with levels.
Boy. That game had kind of poor support after release.
Oh, yeah. And then they released Super Meat Boy Forever, which was a roguelike runner.
Yeah,
which,
it was.
the more you think about it, the less it works.
Yeah, that was
The whole
such a
point
bizarre
about
choice.
runner games, you're supposed to be able to memorize what you do and get good at them.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that when every run is procedurally generated.
And like, it's the last thing anyone wanted out of Super Meat Boy.
No one wanted that. Like, procedurally generated levels, okay, that could be interesting. Infinite Runner? Nah, dude.
Age was there because that was the hard route.
Uh-huh.
Now I get it. Checkpoint blocked for some reason. There. Yeah, I guess the radius of the checkpoint was hitting the saw, which counts as a obstacle, obviously.
Yeah, it must be just to stop you from getting yourself into unwinnable situations.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, that's pretty good design.
Yeah, totally. It seems like they cleaned this game up a lot since release. Not that release was rough, but it wasn't nearly this polished.
I'm feeling like there's a lot of refinements as opposed to outright changes that needed to be made.
Yeah,
Because I do remember it being quite rough around the edges when I played it.
absolutely. Now it plays very cleanly. Combat is weird. I don't know that this game needed combat.
The weird thing as well is that the combat is remarkably involved. There's like a whole combo system.
Yeah, totally.
It's like Devil May Cry at the start of the game when you don't have much in the way of moves.
Yeah, it really is like a little fighting game.
Oh.
Didn't nail that one. Stay on the spikes. Hey. Calm down. Controls are super responsive. These are actually like really good controls. Which is exactly what I don't like about Super Meat Boy these days. It's very floaty.
It's floaty until you get to any kind of wall jumping, and then you need to be ridiculously precise.
Oh yeah, you do. Coming off of Celeste, Meat Boy was a nightmare.
I can imagine.
Like
At
I was
one point,
playing
I
Celeste B-sides, and I could not even touch Meat Boy on like regular difficulty.
I remember one of the, it was one of the quit screens for Super Meat Boy always stuck in my mind. It just said something to the effect of, is it really rage quitting when you can't feel your hands anymore? I was like, I should not feel that as much as I do.
Indeed, yeah. They, you know what was going on. They were pioneers, but yeah, that game. You don't need to think about Meat Boy. Yeah.
It's a problem with a lot of pioneers in that, you know, yes, they are well known and well loved for a reason, but at some point something comes along that does everything so much better to the point where you don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, I think that door's open.
there is. And killing all those guys got me a checkpoint. Beautiful.
I got into exactly an argument, not exactly a heated discussion with someone over the original John Carpenter Halloween. I was saying one of the reasons why I never really suggest people watch it if they're like wanting to get into horror movies or slasher movies is because, like, from a filmmaking perspective, it's wonderful. But if you're just wanting to get into a certain type of movie, it's worth watching for, like, this is the start of the genre. But a lot of what it does, you can find better and more plentiful in other movies. And that got me some very, very pointed criticisms.
That is a controversial stance.
It's one of those films I've seen so many times and I've seen in other movies. I don't really feel like I need to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, honestly, I watched the original Halloween, and I was very unimpressed with it. And been sort of overblown for me. People still call it, like, the best horror movie of all time and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, if you look at it from a technical perspective, from a filmmaking perspective, you can see stuff that's done in that is still done in slasher and horror movies to this day.
Yeah.
Like, it deserves to be remembered as one of the most influential genre movies of all time. But if you're just looking for a good movie, here's 10 others.
Squids.
Oh, okay, you can kill them.
There we go. Yeah, just ain't easy. They have weird hitboxes. I have a weird hurt box, especially when jumping. This is gonna unleash several of them, I fear.
Saw that coming.
Yep. Squid to the face. Oh, I'm not allowed to hit the switch, I think. Try this again.
Nice.
Oh, didn't amount to much, tragically. This is why I try to save the checkpoints, which has bitten me in the ass many, many times. But now I have to do several jumps every time I die.
And this is just the start of the game.
Yeah. There, they failed to defend the switch. And the door, and see in hell, squids.
Fuck you 100%. We're not here for that bullshit.
I'm quite a distance away from 100% at this point. I'm just a common Cthulhu. Advanced tutorial revealed. Okay, we're on chapter 2. Interesting.
E.A. Poe. It's disappointing.
Is that another hot take about Edgar Allan Poe's
No, it's EA
inadequacies?
Sports.
Yeah.
Now, Poe, I have absolutely no hot takes on whatsoever.
Damn.
Although
never
I
go
will say that there was a one-man stage show by Jeffrey... what's his name?
Holmes?
Yes, Jeffrey Combs, playing Edgar Allan Poe. That is absolutely wonderful and people should go watch.
Yeah, he does a sick Poe, and like he does everything well, so the fact that it stands out as being one of his better roles is notable in many ways.
Yeah, the entire thing's a one-man show, basically a series of extended monologues, and it is fantastic just because he's one of those people I can listen to forever.
Absolutely. Love Jeff Combs.
Like the first film that I saw him in where I was like, oh, this guy is someone to watch out for was, believe it or not, The Frighteners.
Oh, nice.
Plays a deranged cult expert who spent a bit too much time among the people.
Yep.
And then gets his head blown off by a ghost.
Yeah, he does.
I need to rewatch that film. It was one of my favorites when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it should hold up. I watched it a couple years ago. Remember it being pretty solid.
I remember showing it to a few people when Lord of the Rings came out, and everyone was like, oh, this is amazing. It's like, wait till you see what this guy also did.
Yeah, that's Peter Jackson, if anyone's unfamiliar.
Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead, or Dead Alive as it's known in the States. Popped a few brains.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles is one he'd probably rather you didn't remember.
Yeah, he's said that, if I remember correctly, he said that it was a necessary step in his filmmaking journey. And that's about all he has to say. Brain Dead, I believe he is still quite proud of, though.
He should be. That movie whips.
Oh, yeah.
I almost touched the spikes. Jumped at the last second. I've been playing Sunblaze, like I said, and there's a glitch in Sunblaze where if you die, you have one frame to save yourself, and it like shows your death for one frame, and then you can escape your own death. It's very,
that's
very
not
disorienting.
deliberate.
It doesn't appear to be deliberate. Damn it, I got pushed onto the spikes. Guess that's why the zombies are
enemy
here.
Placement is evil.
It really is.
Because if that was intentional, that'd be a really cool gimmick.
I'm gonna say it probably was. Okay, we can just push them, because the ice physics. Gotta watch out that I don't get ice physicked myself, though.
Time for some schoolyard bullying.
Oh, yeah. That guy lost his
Nearly
mind for a
kicked him
second.
into another guy into the spikes.
Yep. Could be worth a lot of checkpoint points.
Gotta love those tactical suicide enemies.
Yep. The fact that they blow up everything else is super fun, and yeah. Guy's meant to be a pain in the ass. Oh. He ate my jump because I, like, jumped into him. And I guess there's, like, a Devil May Cry enemy step feature.
Yeah. That, and I think when you do that, the game basically tries to make it easier for you to set up an air combo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was basically going like, oh, you're trying to juggle.
Ice physics. Who wants these in a platformer?
Anyone who remembers Dark Hero of Might and Magic?
So no one. Yes, we're on the same page.
So me, Civi 11.
Damn it!
Oh! God damn!
Yeah, really the best part of this game is your own deaths and how disgustingly violent they are.
See, I wish this had a Super Meat Boy-esque function where you can see all the deaths that you've had.
You get to see your corpses, at least. And boy, are they everywhere. Uh-oh. Spiked again.
just the way that the buzzsaws spike you into the ground like a volleyball.
Yeah. You can feel it. Damn it. Why can't the zombies hit the spikes?
They do, but they just bounce off them.
Yeah, I'm demonstrating how it's done. Now it's your
Face
turn.
first.
Yeah. It's fun. I've done it so many times. You're gonna love it.
Like the lead singer of a band at a metal show shouting, "Everyone get in the pit, but the pit is full of spikes."
Yeah. That's what Metalocalypse is about.
I need to watch that since Doomstar Requiem's coming out in a couple of months.
Yeah. Heard about that. Always surprising that there's more Death Clock stuff coming out.
And Venture Brothers, that's coming out end of this month, I think.
Yeah.
Which I am amazed at. That show, I think it's only been like 7 seasons over about 15 years.
Yep.
Because it's the only, or it was at the time, I should say, the only traditionally hand-animated show on Adult Swim. So because of that, they didn't have much in the way of resource to allocate, so everything was done painfully slowly, just because they were like, we can only afford this many animators to do it for this long.
Yeah, that's pretty much like why it persisted, is it was just those 2 guys doing it for all those years.
Pretty much. You look at the not the cast list, the credits in the end of any episode, and it's the same 20 names that keep showing up over and over again.
It's also one of the best looking shows on Adult Swim.
Yep. 2 creators do about 70% of the voices, if I remember correctly.
That was a weird combo.
Just standing upright.
Yep, there I am. Supposed to do here, let's see. There's a zombie's head in the floor, suggesting that that zombie just got stuck in the floor.
Ooh.
Pinball. If you do like a jump attack, the ice physics sort of stop affecting you.
Ah, the sort of Castlevania thing.
Seems like it. Nice. Caught his ass midair.
Between 2 saws.
Somehow I got bounced into him there. Ah. Damn it. Ah, ice physics at level 2.
For these stages, it would be perfectly fine if they, these guys just pushed you and didn't do any damage, because
Yeah.
God knows they're successful enough at killing you with that.
No kidding. Oh.
Oh,
Okay, I did like a slide kick somehow. Sure, that was gonna spikes at the bottom. Oh, you're
oh.
fucking kidding me.
And you had a checkpoint as well.
Yep. Do the thing where aerial attack plants me in the floor. I can get a bunch of checkpoint points. It's an easy, like.
Okay, that spike should not have counted.
Hey. Whatever, I got 2 hits. All's well. Waiting for one of these guys to die so that I can get that, so that I can do one of these.
Okay. Looks like creating a checkpoint also gives you back full health as well.
Yeah, it does. checkpoint gems, and inexplicably the floor exploded in blood.
Mm. Are we sure this isn't a stealth sequel to a version?
Very well could be. Oh, damn it. I got blocked by the squid. I didn't even know they could do that.
Cephalopod blocked.
Yep. Juggled. Whoa. Also got some knockback. Okay, I'm seeing a page, which means I did not have to go here.
I think you needed to jump up on the platforms. Yeah.
There they are, yeah. Oh, there's a saw there.
Ah!
So I had to blind drop back, and little too late. A little late for
Saw
what?
juggled. Soggled. I feel like I need to pronounce that like I'm from Denmark or something. He got soggled. It was very uncomfortable for everyone.
Okay, squids are killing themselves on the saws. Keep that up.
It happened to my brother. No one liked him.
I saw a seagull get soggled. Uh-oh. I'm getting saw spiked. Okay, they give you an entire checkpoint all at once.
I feel that might be meaning something, but I'm not sure what.
It's certainly scary.
Oh, that's right. The knife imps or whatever they are.
Yeah, we saw statues of them. How do I break their block?
If I remember, you jump over them or attack them midair. They might be infinitely respawning here, though.
Looks like probably.
Need to do some hit and run tactics.
The switch went up and then back down.
I think it went up when you kicked the... Like, you kicked it, and then you kicked the limpy guy.
Yeah. It is hard to get away from these things. Okay. The switch went up anyway, so... Get out of here. Fine. You're just gonna block. No turtles allowed. There's definitely a page on the other side of the door, but I hit
Oh,
the door.
100%.
Yep. Dreadful day gone. Well, now I
feel
want to
like
know
you
what the
should
higher ranks are.
I feel like you should be saying that with your hands in your hips and your head tilted, going, ah, dreadful day gone.
Yep. Okay, imps everywhere. Also, I forget which button is the attack button every single level. It's B for some reason. Xbox controller B, that is to say.
Yeah. See, all the buttons being on, or the letters being on different buttons is why I have trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the sole reason, but it's a big part of it.
Yep.
Yes, Dreadful Day Gone was like a D. I think the other one that we've seen was something Cthulhu.
Yeah, Common Cthulhu.
Common Cthulhu.
Damn it.
I imagine the A rank's probably going to be something like Amazing Azathoth.
That would make sense.
I'm trying to think of something for B, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, I mean, they must have. It goes right from C to A.
Imagine top is superb, shub, Nigorath. That would make sense.
Okay, that is not where the platform that I remember was. Nothing down there. Had to check.
The rating's probably going to be something like, I don't know, tremendous Nyarlathotep, just to really confuse you.
I would appreciate that. That's better than I could do, clearly. Had a method for dealing with the imps.
Seems the dash attack or hitting them in midair is the best way to do them.
Yeah. If you can get over them, down spike them. And when they try to down spike you, they get stuck in the ground for a little while. That guy blew himself up for a couple of points, but still not enough. Skew you. Checkpoints.
Good enough.
Will allow it. Thankfully so. Because I needed it.
I also wish this game had the announcer from Devil May Cry 5 for all the combat levels. Just someone shouting, "Who goes?"
Drop this checkpoint, why not? Hey, free page. Embarrassing myself in front of this imp. Okay, we are at an impasse. An impasse.
I see what you did there.
Didn't even mean to, but then I had to. See, it really feels like that combo there should have killed that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of health on the average zombie.
Yeah, that was one thing I remember, was that the enemies tend to be a bit too hardy, at least at this stage in the game.
I would strongly agree with that criticism. Don't know what this witch is doing, but I don't want to find out.
Ooh,
I chopped her head off.
Can we count the ancients from Eternal Darkness? They are eldritchy. Probably not, because they are still owned by Silicon Knights for some insane reason. Dennis Dyack is determined to make a second game happen.
That's about as likely as the third Alice game at this point.
Yeah. Well, at least we know that third Alice isn't happening.
Yeah.
What's the pay? I was looking at the day I heard about that. I went to go look at the art book for Madness Returns again, and it is heartbreaking. The art in it is just so good, and so much of it is like, we had this cool concept, but because we ran out of time and/or money, we weren't able to put it in. And every time I see that, I just think, yeah, but you had the money to put in the entire Ant Japanese land. And that wasn't even anything to do with Alice herself.
I always felt the games didn't quite do the art design justice.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah. Especially the first one, but even the Xbox 360 one. It had better graphics.
First one, to be fair, did what it could with the limitations of the technology at the time. It was obviously, like, a lot of that concept art was never going to match up with what they could do, but what they were able to do was still pretty impressive. And then when the sequel came around, they actually were at a point where they could be like, okay, let's we can start putting this stuff into the game as we see it. Well, as long as the funding holds up.
Yeah.
And as I said, the art book itself, highly recommended. It is a real thing of beauty, but it will make you cry.
That's how you know it's art.
It made me have an emotional response from my eyeballs.
I was hoping the witch would stay there. Oh yeah, the developer of this game more recently released a game called Russian Subway Dogs.
Okay.
It is about dogs in a Russian subway. And they need to, like, scrounge for food.
I wonder if that's any kind of take on Tokyo Jungle.
Yeah, apparently it's based on actual, like, wild dogs that roam Russian subways.
I know that that site of Chernobyl and Pripyat, they have serious problems with wild dogs. Since of the dogs that were abandoned when the plant went up.
Yeah.
They have to send in hunting teams to cull them because there's just too many of them, and they start attacking people outside the exclusion zone.
Yeesh. Generally, this game is like a lighthearted arcade game. With far less sad, tragic dog death.
Far less dog murder.
Yeah. I got ground up. I didn't even leave a corpse that time. It is a liquid.
It was just like, nah, dude.
Yep.
We
No
can't
corpse for
show
you.
you we can't show you your body because it would up the rating by like
Yep.
3 points.
It is weird that this super edgelord thing was followed up by like a cute little arcade game with cute dogs. And there were a bunch of guest characters, not all of which are dogs. Not sure if it specifically has the head crab from Half-Life, but those sorts of characters are among the guest characters.
Harry, the scullular crustacean.
I mean, they are official, the ones that they got in there. Only I can think of an example. They were all from like indie games I've never heard of, though. So
Now the whole indie game community loves their guest appearances.
yeah, they are
How many
common.
games is Shovel
fun
Knight
thing.
been in?
Seriously, he sniped me while I was down spiking him. I didn't know that was possible. We can break blocks with kicks, I've learned.
Yep.
Up.
Say that would be useful on the imps, but they seem a bit too quick to do frequently
Mhm.
under impacts.
Yeah, I don't even know how it would work with like a pack of imps.
Hmm.
Guess we'll have to find out. Assuming I ever make it past this checkpoint, because the witch makes it impossibly hard.
It's not like you can just bolt past her.
Yeah, I may have tried once or twice. Ooh, I can punch her into a saw. Careful. Juggling myself here. There. One down. Not to get killed on ice physics.
Easier said.
Seriously, like, look at this. It was the only way I could think to do that. Over there. I guess I gotta go over there.
Leap of faith time.
Use you.
Oh, close to a checkpoint.
Give me a checkpoint. Oh, God. No, don't do it.
No, 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 no.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh.
Body blocked. This has become a Smash tournament. Yeah, this section is a gigantic leap up in difficulty. Thanks in large part to the witches.
Who knew this was a troll game? Anyone who's played it.
Yeah. Any of these precision platformers are going to be largely troll-based. Huh. Well, this is the beginning of the level. Gonna pass on that.
That's a nope from me.
Yeah.
No, Kaizo hacks have a lot to answer for. Both good and bad.
They've gotten significantly better. A lot of the best games of 2021 were literally Kaizo hacks.
It looks like... I thought she was stuck in the wall for a minute.
Yeah. She does that and then she, like, despawns or something. Body blocked. So many hits. Finally dead. Do not have a ton of resources which to proceed. Oh, I didn't wall grab. Don't get my wall grab. Can't do much platforming, tragically. Imagine if you're not on standard difficulty, you probably don't have to face as many witches here, if any.
Probably most of the spikes are gone as well.
Yeah. Also, the levels are shorter. They cut out the hard parts. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Bro, I did not read my inputs for a second. And I need those inputs. I can kick you out of the way. Can't do much with you, though. Really dying for, like, a heavy attack. Kill these zombies faster. And do actual damage to the witch.
Or even something like a charge attack.
Yeah. Feels like the sort of thing this game needs. Oh, I can recover this. There it is. Perfect. Glad I put in all that effort.
And then you inconvenienced her into the floor.
Yep.
And now it's a speed run. That was obviously a zip.
For the witch. I mean, the witch is speedrunning this game. I'm gonna push you that way so you die.
Seems like you get more save point energy when you kick them into spikes.
That could be, yeah, there's like a multiplier. Because they get juggled on the spikes and it counts as a combo, I think. I was thoroughly not prepared for witches to make this game this hard. Another one of their gimmicks is that they stand just slightly out of your range. One down. Won't be dying anytime soon. No witch this time. Gotta be around here somewhere. I think I can even hear her. That didn't go so well. What if there's difficulty adjustment where they spawn less witches?
That would be surprisingly generous for a game like this.
Yeah.
Like, not saying it doesn't happen, I'm just saying I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm saying it is very improbable. I literally couldn't move because of the ice physics. I don't want to fight the zombies.
Does it have to do with how close you get to the white circles? The saw blades? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they meant saw blades.
Okay.
Assume the clump of ore just when you're doing the big jump.
Aye, those things. Okay. Right, the dash. Yeah, the witch lives inside the big block in the center.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a thing that can happen. Irrefutably. Why is my double jump not going off? There we go. A little worse for wear.
Not having another controller malfunction, are we?
Game does have several similarities to Mad World. Hopefully that's not one of them. I think one of the problems is I don't know how to do the dash intentionally, so whatever's making me doing it accidentally here is not to my benefit. Okay, yeah, she stopped at one spot, but then kept coming. Oh, maybe this one actually had a maximum range.
And save. For the love of God.
Why should I? Let's get a preview of this level, I guess. It's Alice-esque in the lack of ground. I can not even see where the next platform I'm supposed to go to is.
Yeah, that's something they probably should have looked at as well when they were making changes. Like any game which has you make not just one leap of faith, but repeated ones, that's bad level design.
It certainly can be. It's navigable enough in the sense that you know which way you have to go, so just jump blindly in that general direction. You're probably going where you want to be. Maybe. Ugh.
No.
I got my double jump back and I didn't realize it or want it. Or I used it accidentally. Failed my head.
Also, I can't unsee it now and I have to share it with other people. These spiked lanterns look like an early 2000s nu metal singer. Spiked hair and spiked beards.
Yeah, I can sort of see it. At goatee.
I'm sorry, everyone, but it's been bugging me and I had to say something.
wonder if she'll despawn. I do one of
You
these.
die. Yeah.
Not seeing her.
Would appear so.
Yep. I bet there's another one.
Huh. Wonder which way the game wants you to go.
See, I thought it was going to be one of those blocks that falls.
Hmm.
So I've been playing a lot of platformers lately. But no, it's a Mega Man spike hallway without the spikes.
Oh, give it time.
I'm sure they're coming. You're right. Never count out the spikes. So many witches.
They do love their enemies spawned by traps.
Yeah. This time it's all witches for 4 levers. Want so bad to spike them. I did the first witch.
Hmm.
I think I've done it once or twice since. Oh, hey. Guess I didn't grab enough of the gems my first time down. Let's find the other switch. Oh, witch inside the wall. Yep, there's a switch.
Yeah. Figured it would be symmetrical.
Yeah, we'll start there. Damn it.
Oh, that's a bad scene.
I got pushed into just the right corner. Could not get the hell out of there. And there it was again. But I got the hell out of there. Now I see why there are zombies inside the hallways there. I won't be able to just rush down once I get this open.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I'm feeling like a Dagon. Yep. A Dagonist. Still got claw hands. The book is back, even though we buried it in the last cutscene.
Yeah, I remember the measures she takes to get rid of the book keep getting more and more drastic.
Chained it up because clearly the book got to us via muscular action. And now it can't swim. And it's getting ruined by water.
Put it into the river with a cement bookmark, see?
And then we read the book again, and it starts the next level. Which apparently is underwater.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks like a water level now.
Yeah. At last, the mighty metropolis rose on the bottom of that Stygian sea, its architecture much like that of the city above. Terrifyingly Lovecraftian, I guess.
I was gonna say that's not one of his better works, but I imagine that was probably one of his shopping lists.
Yep.
Man wrote a lot.
Okay, run. And duck, that's the slide. If I jump down here, everyone will explode themselves. Oh, nice. There's been a slide this whole time.
I'm a firm believer that every game with a slide mechanic is automatically better.
There's a case to be made.
Same
This
with
game's
double
willing to
jump.
make it. There. Yeah, this is all ice physics again.
Game's a big fan of ice physics and spikes.
Yeah. But I think getting another chapter completed might be a decent stopping point for They Bleed Pixels.
Yep, works for me.
It's brutally hard, it turns out.
Yeah, it's not that it's fun. It's not fun. It's that it's frustrating.
The mixture of combat into the platforming is interesting, but it's really difficult to get used to.
Yeah. Kind of makes you wish that they'd go all in on one or the other.
Totally. Coming off a bunch of strict platformers, and this is messing with the mind. I can do spike jumps here to get that page. I think someone could theoretically do spike jumps there to get that page, but I can't.
Yeah, it looks like you're supposed to maybe jump or possibly go around the other side. Ah, no.
Yeah, the other side has no spikes, but
yeah.
Presumably there's some way to the outside there. No, there's ice on the outside.
Oh.
Interesting.
Or possibly where the spikes are up top. There's just a tiny little bit of each platform, the side that's not covered in spikes.
Exactly, yeah. In Celeste, they call it the spike jump.
Yeah.
Grab the edge of a spike platform and get the hell out of there. Which I tried to do.
More precision than I can do.
Hell yeah. Ooh, also, it's down here. Spikes.
Spikes!
I guess maybe you could, like, do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Gems. Adorable.
Just to top yourself up or give you a head start.
Okay. Honestly, really good game, but juggling the platforming and the combat is really hard to do.
I imagine the speedruns for this, or the 100% playthroughs, are probably going to be a lot of fun to watch. Don't think I've ever seen it at GDQ.
Nah, this is a pretty obscure one still. Despite all the cleverness and the good design, it never really hit.
Are you saying we're both very familiar with an obscure game that's being played? Because I, for one, refuse to believe that.
It is a little out there, but I'm going to have to ask people to expand their scope. Try and come up with that sort of thing.
Clutch those pearls, ladies and gentlemen.
We can see in the background what some of the concept art looks like.
Yep.
Hyper realistic. Main character's name, I don't know.
Wonder what that was inspired by.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any plagiarism was happening. I'm just saying there was a heavy influence by one game that we may have mentioned repeatedly.
Well, you want to take a look at Rice? That's a short game.
Yep.
I can boot that up real quick. Just takes a minute. And also get it screen shared. That's kind of important. There we go, Rice.
This repetitive indie combat experience. This is a game that does not take itself seriously.
Not especially, no. My character is not supposed to be holding a shotgun. He's supposed to have one of these.
I find the bows really good, especially when you level it up.
Yeah, honestly, pretty much all the weapons are good. I also bought the snake as a starting weapon. Starting with the snake is a horrible idea.
Starting with the snake or the vine, or glue for that matter, those are really, really bad starting choices.
Yep. And very expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive. Make your starting worse. But you can do that to yourself if so inclined. So, what sort of unique gameplay style does this game implement? Let's find out.
That's right, kids. It's a survival game.
Yes, a vampire survival game. It's a classic, like, what do they call them now? Like, idle shooters or something?
I do not know. I call them survivor games.
Mm.
Oh, also with the gold brick that gives you these, if you level up a couple of times before you choose, it gives you additional options.
Interesting. Typically, I have plenty of options, but that is good to know. I always go right for the gold thing. Get powerful right away.
I did that at first, but now I usually wait until I've got 2-3 levels under my belt.
I will try that out.
Assuming that you're going for the skip to bank the card.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
I will show you when you level up.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, if you've played Vampire Survivor or any of the other of this style of game, you will know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
At the top, you have at the top right, you've got your weapons. If you get 3 of a kind, you level them up.
That's why I only have 1 shotgun, 1.5 shotguns.
If you get 3 of the leveled up kind, you level up again. So, bottom left, if you go for skip, then that adds an extra to your hand permanently, unless you click on reroll, which will take one of your cards.
Okay, so it increases the hand size, not the hand quality.
Yeah. You can get a gold card called reroll, which will give you 1 free reroll without costing any of your card hand.
Yep, seen those. So let's go through my inventory real quick. These are all active weapons that will just aim at the nearest target, aim at the nearest planetoid, which is the things we're blowing up to get more weapons, aim at the middle of the group. It just does those things automatically. And this is the inventory. That weapon is not doing anything, but I need it so that I can stack up additional extra copies of it so that I can upgrade the thing.
Yeah. They made some changes to the game with the last patch, so... Or with the most... Well, not the last patch, the one before. That was a big rebalancing for the weapons. One of the things that it changed was the bow. Level 2 bow now shoots 2 arrows, which makes it really good if you put it in the planetoid slot.
Oh, nice.
Knockback knockback and lucky damage. So lucky damage will just add +2 to your highest damage roll. So if you're doing like 1 to 8, that 0 to 2 will give you 1 to 10. And also, yeah, if you don't like any of those, you can just pick up the pot of meta gold, which will give you more stuff to money to basically upgrade your character at the end of a run.
Yeah, I have some meta upgrades already. Normally you only have 3 weapon slots and 1 inventory.
Yep.
But I purchased 2 permanent additional weapon slots, which are good to have.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, you get a big grid, which is your permanent level up thing. When you have to buy individual slots, which is perfectly fine, except some of the ones right at the top, which are supposed to be the cheapest, cost $500,000.
Yep.
Makes things very, very awkward.
Yeah, I'm going to show up the meta screen because it is unique and weird and very, very complicated.
It's got some really good ideas. There's a line down the middle of the grid. Anything which you put on there will get upgraded to the next tier. So if you put in a basic one, it'll become a tier 1, it'll become a tier 2, and so on. But the tier 1s mostly take up 1 slot in it. Tier 2s will take up anywhere up to about 7, I think. And tier 3s will take up half the grid by themselves.
Yeah, they sure will.
And tier 4s had gigantic.
Yep, you can straight up start with a legendary thing.
Yep.
But that costs so much gold because you got to buy the thing itself and you got to buy so many spaces. Yeah.
Yep. I think gem tier, which is tier 4, are 100,000.
Yep.
Thankfully, everything of each tier is the same price. So all tier 1s will be 100. But if you buy If you want another copy of it, that'll double it to 200. If you want another one, that'll be 400, and so on.
Because I don't have very much inventory, the only thing I can actually get here is bows, because then I'll have 2 bows, and once you have 2 bows, the third one you grab will go into an upgrade automatically.
Actually, the first bow you've got is tier 2 bow.
Yeah.
But
if I grab
you can't.
If I grab a second bow, it will replace the shotgun.
Right, gotcha. Sorry.
And then the third one will turn into an upgrade.
Yeah.
Without wasting any inventory spaces. But the shotgun is doomed unless I get more inventory spaces.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, lucky damage and knockback also have an effect on some of the other cards you can get, gold cards.
Yeah.
One called, I think, Shatter. I forget exactly what it's called. Which does an AoE attack, and one called Lightning, which strikes multiple enemies.
Yeah. So blowing up the sun is the goal of each level. And we did it. That automatically gets you a gem tier.
Yep, which is the highest tier you can get.
Yep. Mine ended up being pretty bad, but I'll take quickness. Which destroys your critical chance, but dramatically increases your speed per attack, like your cooldown on your weapons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Always been unclear.
Yeah. No, the crit chance really, like, all the stats in this really do need tooltips or better explanations. They are apparently being worked on.
Yeah.
But if you can get your crit chance to over 100%, at which point it starts doing extra damage or extra hits.
Yeah, actually, you cannot get it over 100%. You can only get it 250. And then everything beyond 50 is a crit chance for a second crit on a single attack.
Yeah. I've had essentially 200%.
Yep.
Which means at that point you're pretty much guaranteed to get a crit.
There's also this card, Dev Bias.
Yes. Yes. Have you gotten enough of those to get the secret effect?
I have not. But it's a card that's obviously too strong, but the dev ignores it and or buffs it.
Yeah. So what happens if you get, I think it's, if you get another one of those, then the text changes on it. It says something like, still too powerful for you. And if you get a third one, then it reveals what it does, which any enemy which is at full health, you do an extra 5% damage to it, and that stacks. So if you get 2 of them, you get 10% damage, and so on and so on.
That's right. It's the crowbar. This game is heavily influenced by Risk of Rain as well, yeah. That's why, like, when we completed the goal, we went down another floor and we do it all again. Exactly the same cycle as in Risk of Rain.
Siphon will up your... I forget what it's called. I think it's called something like your...
They call it Drain.
Chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gives you an extra 50 hit points, but also means that certain other healing cards are rendered completely useless.
There are.
So, like, when you start off... Ooh, Arsenal.
Hell yeah.
When you start off and you get that gold brick at the beginning, it gives you the special ability, guaranteed gold card. If you get, like, the 50% crit chance, then you're probably better off going into Siphon than regular healing.
Yeah.
Because you will be constantly healing once you get to a certain point.
Exactly. And I also should not have taken the quickness gem because it that's your crit chance.
Yep. If you get 8 gravity cards, it upgrades and pulls in everything on the screen no matter where it drops, even if it's off screen. So that's a good one to go into as well.
Never did that one before. I do have a bunch of meta gravities.
Yep.
Just to give myself a head start, because your movement speed, you probably notice, is very, very slow.
Yep.
So you don't want to go chasing experience all over the screen.
Yeah, you really need at least 2 or 3 just so that you don't have to... Because otherwise your pickup circle, which is a little circle around you, that is basically arm's length of the character sprite.
Yep.
Also, a thing that I'm not exactly sure if it's true, but with some of the cards that'll say minus 25% accuracy or minus 50%, it seems that it's 50% of whatever you've got. So at the moment you've got accuracy of 86, it'll be 50% of 86.
Nice.
Rather than just a flat 50%. I think that's how they do it. I'm not sure. It's very complicated.
Yeah, I mean, they say additive, which means, yeah, it would have been just 50% down.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Minus 50% accuracy. It was 86. It's now 67. So, I don't know.
Okay, I have no idea how the fuck they do it then.
Yep. It's some kind of equation going on.
Yep, I was also going to say, with the hand size, I believe you can get it as big as you want. I've had 12 cards at one point.
God.
So you can keep doing it. I had to run it full screen to do that. Because otherwise you cannot see what you're doing.
Also, we're on the second floor. Once you get to the third floor, there's going to be so much slowdown
Yep.
that the game borders on unplayable.
Yeah, I have never been able to make it past the third floor because the amount of health that you get does not catch up with the amount of damage you take.
Yeah, no, defensive options just are not as powerful as your offensive options, and eventually you're dead.
Yeah, defensive options are basically, it will take, you can get cards which give you plus 10, or take 10 damage off whatever you're getting attacked with.
Yeah.
Which is fine until you're taking attacks that are 3,000.
Yep. Most of the time, yeah, I'll just be throwing along, killing everything effortlessly, and then I'll die, and I won't even know what hit me, but I'm dead instantly.
For me, the killer is almost always fire damage, because it is immediate, and it just chews through your health bar.
Think upgrade. So far, we've only upgraded things once, but you can upgrade them multiple times, of course.
Yep. It's a good game, but it is still in early access, and there's a lot that needs rebalancing.
Yeah, it's super early
Fire
access.
and poison damage in particular are brutal.
Yep. Also, I'm wearing an optional helmet that I bought, which I deal double damage so long as I'm standing still and half damage if I'm moving.
Yep. There's, I think there's like 10 or so different
There's quite a
helmets you
few.
can get.
Yeah.
All of which have different benefits and negatives.
Arsenal again.
You're guaranteed one Arsenal card every couple of levels.
Rightfully so, because if I hadn't bought these slots, I'd be screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're guaranteed one every 5 or 10 levels or something like that.
Yep. Also, standing in the black stuff around the planetoids hurts you really, really badly. Yep.
It's not so bad on the first floor, but once you get to the third floor, then it will just, your health will just go.
Yeah. There's a helmet called Depression, which flips it. As long as you're in the abyss, you take no damage, but once you step out, you take constant heavy damage.
Yeah. Some of the helmets, I don't know what the goal of them is.
Yep.
It's like they've got an idea, but they just haven't implemented anything to make it make sense yet.
Yeah, a lot of them are basically make the game unplayable. I don't know why. Probably as a joke.
I imagine once they start implementing some more stuff, because they've got plans to keep updating it for a good long while.
Yep.
I imagine there'll be a lot of gimmick builds that you can do. At the moment, it's really only fire, ice. You can do a good amount of damage with poison, which is fun.
Yeah.
Critical builds, ricochet builds. You know, there's a good amount of stuff you can do. But as I said, with some of the items, it feels like they're setting up some kind of gimmick that you can do down the line. It's just nothing's there to do them with.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game turns out with further development, because it's already like hyper addictive, even more so than a lot of other Vampire Survivors clones.
Oh yeah, I've got about 30 or so hours in it.
I can believe it.
28.9 hours. And that's just playing essentially the first 3 stages, because there is no end game for it.
Yeah. Like, as far as I know, there is nothing past the 3rd stage.
Yeah. 3rd stage just loops endlessly. Rather than there being a big clump of planets, as in the first 2 stages, they just spawn in randomly.
Yeah. Exactly, so as you're wandering around, you find new planets.
Yeah.
There we go, because I died on the 2nd floor. I think I, like, got half the meta currency that I was supposed to.
They changed it recently. It used to be that you would lose all your currency. Instead, now you just lose the multiplier, unless you get to stage 3. In which case they go, okay, well, you know, you've got your multiplier now.
So $555,000 for this slot.
Yep, that little bastard is keeping me from doing exactly what I want to with the other.
Yeah.
Like, right at the beginning, and I think it's the most expensive slot in the game.
God. And yeah, like, when you buy a thing, it's a shape like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, like, cram it in here somehow.
They did just recently add the ability to shift the position of them.
Yeah.
So it was even harder to do before.
Yep.
Show off some of the gold and silver, it's like golden gem shapes, because they get wacky.
Let's see. The scarf always makes sense. If you buy a scarf, you can pretty much cram it somewhere. This is my scarf that I just pulled off there. Thing is, though, the scarf has like a blue line below it.
Yep.
If all 3 spaces of that blue line hit a single thing, it deactivates that thing. So I used to have this H 1 space over, and the scarf deactivated the H.
Yep. Some of them, though, if you fill in, like, I think it's, I think it's the gold regeneration medal. No, gold size medal. The one that's that one, yeah. If each one of those blue slots is a different medal, then it upgrades the size. Like, basically, I think gives you, it'll show up, it'll be like plus 80 size. And if each one is different, it basically doubles that, so you get plus 160, which means that the shots that you fire are ridiculously huge.
Yeah, gain projectile size from each unique slotted metal's size.
Problem is, as we've pointed out, some of the medals are very awkward to use. So you basically need to have that right in the middle and plan your entire spread around that one medal.
Yep. Or just get an overwhelming amount of meta currency, which is extremely hard to do because if you die on the 2nd floor, you lose half of it.
Yep. If
On
you
the
make
3rd
it
floor, you get a
3,
bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, it doubles it again, so you get 4 times the currency.
Yep. Floor 3
And
exists only for grinding.
As I said, you can see that there's a line running down the middle of the grid, vertically. Anything put on that will automatically be upgraded to the next tier.
Yeah, you can see there's a bronze one here, and it's been upgraded to a silver one because it's in the gold line.
Yep. That will have a big effect on what you plan to do. It won't affect gold or gem medals, unfortunately. Mainly because most of those are unique.
Yeah. And, like, there's nothing to upgrade on them that are already the highest power possible.
Exactly. So you need to be very careful when you're putting things on the gold line for multiple reasons.
Yeah, it's a by metal basis. So, like, if I put the gravity here, gravity has no effect on the gold line, so nothing happens.
Yep.
Whereas the damage specifically upgrades.
Yep. Gravity is just a bronze only medal.
Yeah, it sure is.
Doesn't have any bigger upgrades.
Too bad. We just need more gravity. Also, I don't know what this is going to be.
Yeah, that one I don't have that one. There's a couple that either haven't been put in the game or because there's no achievements or unlocks so far other than what you can buy with currency. Those 3 in the gold one haven't been unlocked yet.
Yeah, they're all question marks, which implies that they simply do not exist in the game yet.
There are a couple which you can unlock by doing several card combinations. Like if you get 8 levels of gravity, then that unlocks the gem gravity medal. I can't remember if you can buy it though. I'd need to check my own copy of the game.
God, the rice medal here only takes up 1 slot. This medal is killed if slots don't contain medals of identical quality. So you need other gold medals.
Yeah. Or
which
just
take up
work.
So much space.
I feel like because rice only gives you +1 damage.
Yeah.
Whereas the gold damage medal gives you +8. I feel like there is a secret behind that, but I have no idea what in the hell it could be.
There's got to be. I mean, this is the name of the game.
Yeah, there has to be something there, and I don't know what.
Yep. Me neither. But I still take it sometimes when I get options for a gold medal.
Sometimes there's literally just nothing better.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh yeah, we can't do anything with the meta screen. You cannot upgrade yourself gradually. It's all like giant leaps in upgrades.
Yeah. Most of the time, you'll be lucky if you can afford 1 or 2 slots.
Yeah. This whole Tetris system is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can buy any starting weapon I want.
I usually go with the bow or the knife.
Yeah, the knife's a good one.
Knife gets ridiculously fast once you get the tier 3 one. And once you get, there's some of the gem cards will only work if you attach them. So you need to actually click and drag the medal onto the weapon. And once you get some of the speed cards or the junk card, junk was added in the most recent patch, and it gives you a damage bonus based on how many bronze tier cards you have. So you can get ridiculous amounts of damage from a very speedy weapon.
Yeah. And the dagger has double critical chance? 2 times crit chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dagger for me is always a really good starting weapon.
Totally. It seems to have a very short range, like doesn't go very far from the character before expiring.
In order to increase your range, you need to pick up cards which have projectile HP on them.
Yeah.
Apparently, the way the game is coded is that as the weapon sprite moves away, it loses HP until it dies, essentially. I don't know why they did it like that.
Yeah, that's a super weird choice.
But that's how they did it.
Yep. Weird is the name of the game. I'll take 2 copies of all my weapons. There, I never normally take the sword. Seems like it's maybe the worst one.
Yeah. Sword is... It doesn't do anything bad, but it doesn't do anything good either.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like a worse, less, unique dagger.
Yeah.
And useless. Will add damage based on the number of gem medals you have.
Yeah. Unfortunately, doesn't count for any of the ones that you start off with if you bought them in the meta currency screen.
That's unfortunate.
Also, the more that you start off with, the harder it is to get your first level.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Up.
Because it's normally 1 experience to gain your first level.
Yeah. If you don't start with anything, you will get cards ridiculously fast. But that was a very rude awakening when I worked that one out.
So like the whole meta implementation is super weird. This is a surprisingly punishing roguelite.
Yeah. This... I mean, it took me a good 4 or 5 hours just to get past the second map to get to the third one.
Oh yeah.
At this point, anytime I'm playing it, it's just to grind some more currency to unlock more slots.
Yep. Which, as noted, grinding is slow and it takes so much grinding to get anywhere.
But it was worse. Initially, whenever you took the pot of gold there, it would just give you 100. And they changed it so that each one gives you an extra 100. So it's 100, 200, 300. So
yeah, it's like a multiplicative 100.
But that resets every time you go to a new floor.
Yeah.
If you can get to floor 3 and if you can survive, you will get shitloads of cash before the multiplier even kicks in.
Yeah, you will.
But that's a big if. So yeah, the grind was even harder up until about 3 weeks ago.
Yep. Unlike most early access Vampire Survivor clones, they throw out updates practically weekly, monthly, maybe.
Yeah, it's usually every 1 or 2 weeks is another update. The last update was mostly behind the scenes stuff. One of the things they changed was that every update you had to re-slot all the medals in your deck, which was such a pain in the ass.
Ish.
They changed that. They altered how 1 or 2 of the cards work. A few other bits and pieces. So it was mostly behind the scenes stuff, but usually there's 1 or 2 extra medals, some extra cards. They haven't really done much with the weapons, other than a bit of rebalancing. But we haven't seen any additional weapons that I've seen.
Yeah, new weapons would be nice.
Yeah. Because like with Vampire Survivors, I always find myself relying on the same 3 or 4.
Oh yeah. That's probably been visible in our short time playing this.
Yep. I always wind up going knife, arrow, fire wand, and then just once I've got those, whatever else comes along.
I clearly am pretty fond of the shotgun.
Shotgun got a big boost as well. The rank 3 one used to only shoot 1 shot and would take about 10 seconds to reload. They upgraded it though so that it shoots more rapidly. Slower than the combat shotgun that you've got now, but it fires more pellets.
Yep. And it fires grenades.
Yep.
Erratically.
But before they did that upgrade, you basically got the tier 2 shotgun and just stopped.
There's got to be a tier 4 of weapons. Like this is tier 3.
Yeah.
And if we get like 15 more copies of it, it'll be tier 4.
I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah,
I
me
usually
neither.
stop at tier 3. Or get, with the fire wand, I usually get one tier 3 for aim at nearest target.
Yep.
And 1 for aim at middle of enemy.
Halo, we can resurrect ourselves.
As I don't know if you noticed, but every time you pick a scarf card, your character's scarf actually gets longer.
Nice. I thought I noticed that a lot of my late game runs. He's got a very long scarf.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty silly. I think it stops at a certain point.
Gets shinobi-esque pretty quickly.
Yep. Oh, that was another thing that they added as well recently. They added a new stage. Which I've not seen that before.
Could this Omai Wamo Shinderu?
Omai wamo shinderu means you're already dead. It's from Fist of the North Star.
Yep.
Swiftly followed by someone saying "Nani" and exploding.
See, I was told there was an option to turn off auto leveling, so that if you get like a trillion experience at once, which happens constantly on the 3rd floor,
Yep.
you won't have to click through so many level ups all at the same time.
Yeah. Once you get like a big radius for pulling experience,
Yeah.
you will basically the game will pause itself every 4 seconds.
Yeah. Can't find it. It might only be on the main menu.
Possibly. At that point, though, you're just really trying to kill planets so you can get more currency.
Exactly. Which makes it all the more frustrating that you have to stop every half a step
Yeah.
to level up again.
Don't forget the skip to
Oh yeah,
stock car.
definitely should have skipped that one, because that's not a good level up.
Yeah. Unless there's something really good in the first couple of levels, I usually skip till I get about 7, 8 cards.
It's probably a good idea. Or piercing, why not? Piercing doesn't seem to work with the Abyss,
Yeah.
because the Abyss has a hitbox, and you do need to destroy it in order to get to the planetoids.
Yeah. The Abyss just, as it's weird. Again, it's another thing that I don't quite understand how it works.
Totally.
Because sometimes you can kill enemies. Enemies that are on one side of the Abyss will just essentially teleport through it.
Sure
And
will.
sometimes you can kill enemies that are teleporting through it. Other times you can.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's part of the game or if it's completely random or a glitch or a bug or programming oversight. But
Yeah, very
cold
hard
also
to...
doesn't seem to work too well either.
It works for the purposes of Frostbitten, which is
Yeah.
every time you deal cold damage, it like actually does physical damage instead of just slow down.
Yeah.
But the slowdown effect doesn't seem to actually slow enemies down.
No. It seems like you could get a really good build going with based around cold and slowing down enemies.
Totally, I have had a few of those.
Yeah. Good luck making it consistently work though.
That's for damn sure. Also, that sword guy, one of them got close to me and the screen went black. That is about 1 second, and if you don't kill the enemy during that 1 second, you take like the most damage you could possibly take in a single attack.
Sometimes that doesn't even happen though. Sometimes they just go to do the attack and then they don't do it.
Weird. I've never been that lucky.
I have that happen all the time on floor 3. And I don't know what triggers it. Because they are not dead afterwards.
Weird. Because the sword guys are the main like people that cause my runs to end immediately.
For me, 90% of the time it's fire damage.
Yeah, the fire guys
really-
are definitely a close second.
Fire damage really, you need some kind of cards to counter that. Because one of the things they added recently was you take more damage, but poison damage, which again is another thing that can really ruin your run.
Yep.
Take more damage, but each extra point of damage that you take drains the poison, essentially. So in the short term, you take more damage, but you will take less damage overall in the long run.
I'm on fire, I'm dead.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. Oh yeah, she got the halo.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, in the long run, there is nothing to stop fire damage, essentially, which is a real pain.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, poison can be mitigated, fire, no such luck.
Yeah.
We're taking your full fire damage.
Oh, that was another change that was made as well. Talking about the currency multipliers. If you died on floor 4, sorry, on floor 2,
Yeah.
you got no currency whatsoever.
Yeesh. That's brutal.
Yeah, so... Oh, branching, that's a good one.
Yeah, we got An attach only, finally.
Yep, putting that
Take
on
it.
the knife or the shotgun is really good.
Yeah, I tend to like the shotgun, of course, because I always like the shotgun.
So prepare for the game to get a lot slower.
Yep. I mean, my computer can more or less handle it until you get to the 3rd floor and you have too many upgrades.
Yeah.
But I have sparks on as well. That means every time one of my attacks hits, so long as it has piercing, it will cause 3 extra bullets to fly out. That deal reduced damage, but
Thankfully, those don't do extra. So those don't do piercing as well.
indeed. No infinite bullets.
No. That
Certainly a lot of bullets, though. So I never really got a good sense for why you would, like, take, say, a scarf here and put it on the sword.
That's specifically so that if you've got something rapid fire, like the upgraded dagger, that will make sure that that always does, or that has an increased chance to crit. Because you can
I gotcha.
put most of the medals, you can attach most of those to any weapon.
True, yeah.
So, like for example, if you want to put cold damage on your shotgun, then you can do that. So obviously it's not going to work with the fire wand.
And I guess if I wanted to have, like, that speed up thing that reduces your crit chance without destroying the crit chance of all my weapons,
Exactly.
that might be a good time to hang it on one of the weapons specifically.
Yep. Put it on, again, something like the fire wand, because that fires quite slowly. Whereas,
And, like, the shotgun has a crit penalty.
Yep.
In fact, the boomerang is not allowed to crit at all. It has a 0 times multiplier for all crit chances.
I don't know if you can, if you put the crit cards on it, it will give it a crit chance, but I don't use it very often.
I would assume not, because it's a multiplier. Like, anything times 0, that's nothing. I'm on fire, and I'm dead.
Yeah, you went from 1,000 health to, like, 0 in about 2 seconds.
Yep. Those green guys, they explode if you're too close to them when they die. Catch you on fire, kill your ass.
Gameplay, maybe?
Auto pull rewards.
Yeah, that might be it.
I assume so. Give that one quick look to make sure it works as intended. Gotta get ourselves one level up here. Go faster if I have 2 weapons.
Guess not.
Yeah, weird. I don't know what auto pull rewards does. Guess I don't need to know.
The only other thing I can think of would be the gold brick, but that only ever spawns once on the first level.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Always guaranteed to spawn on that first level. And then never again.
Very original. Lightning.
Yep.
Chance to zap enemies with lightning. I think that is the one that's reliant on your the number of lucky damage cards that you pull.
Yeah, I think you're right. That determines its damage.
And the other one is knockback.
Yeah, and also some specific weapons gain like alternate effects based on what you have crammed onto them. Let's see if I can get one here. Yeah, pierce converted to bounce.
Yeah.
So if you have piercing, it bounces instead.
Yeah. Glue, I used to take a lot of. But it just, once you start getting to the 3rd floor, it just doesn't do the damage. And there's so many enemies. Once you've got something like a rank 3 fire wand, which does huge explosions, you don't really need it because everything's getting pushed back.
Yep. I almost never take glue. If anything, the ice wand feels better than glue.
Yeah, and I'd barely even use that.
Yep.
Ice Wand, Glue, and Black Hole I almost never take.
Yeah, the black hole, apparently if you get like a gem card that's homing and attached to the black hole, that pretty much breaks your game. I've never gotten so lucky.
I have had homing a few times, but never. As I did a couple of runs with the Black Hole, the Boomerang, and was like, yeah, these just aren't that great.
Yeah, the boomerang feels atrocious. I don't know if I'm missing something about the boomerang, but I consider it to be pretty irredeemable.
It feels like it should be like a close range shield weapon, but it just doesn't do that.
Super fast. I guess if maybe you had something that like procced frequently based on how fast your attacks are, that could be something. But even then, the dagger is probably better for that.
Yeah. If you want a fast weapon, rank 3 dagger, and then just start putting like homing or split projectiles, anything on it.
Totally, yeah. Like here's
Once you get that
the weapons
up
I haven't
to,
shown off.
once you get that maxed up, it just gets to a ridiculous amount of damage. And if you're lucky enough to get the junk card as well,
Yeah.
the one that gives you bonus damage based on how many bronze cards you have, an average run it'll go from like 15 to 20 damage to 150 to 250.
Yeah, I believe it.
The amount of damage just honestly it just goes into orbit.
And the ice shard that I mentioned. Oh, I can switch them during gameplay.
Yeah, that was the thing that was added recently.
Yeah, I never even thought to do that. I always paused it, because why not?
Yep. Rank 2 ice shards have a freezing halo around them.
They sure do.
Slightly more useful.
Yeah, especially if you have frostbite.
Yep. Rank 3 just gets a bigger halo.
And in the theoretical rank 4, we'll never know.
Theoretical rank 4 just drops an iceberg on the field.
Yeah, because at that point you're like 3 to the power of 5 or something.
It's something ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. Rank 3s, they get the job done. So that is rice. I like rice, but it's just a grain. Rice is nice, so I'm not insane. It's a whole movie's reference.
See, I have not watched home movies in years. I watched it when it was on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, and I think I just didn't get it. 'Cause anytime it came on, I was like, "Nah, I'm not digging this."
I watched it and enjoyed how much I didn't get it.
Yeah, and now like the Chiquita banana tattoo bit will come up on Twitter or Facebook, and I'll be like, "I need to give this another shot."
Yeah, McGurk is a genius, like one of the best characters John Benjamin has ever played, and that is saying something.
I think really I just want an entire show based around Coach McGurk.
Pretty much. It ends up being that.
Which would basically be Archer.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 4th season are also just McGurk.
Yeah. Maybe just skip the first 2.
I mean, we're just talking about Metalocalypse, so can't get away from Brendan Small.
Very true.
And why would we want to?
He is Kafka.
And yeah, that's about all there is to see at Rice, because like we said, very early access, but still hyper addictive.
Oh yeah, probably the best $3 you'll spend.
Yeah, I love that Vampire Survivors set their price at $3, so now everyone who rips them off cannot sell their game for more than $3.
There are 1 or 2 which have gone for like 5 or 10. There was one called something like Sexy Magical Survivors. There's 2 versions of it. One work safe and one not work safe. Guess which one is the more expensive one?
Nice.
And for a while, apparently, it was getting review bombed because they were like, "This is a Survivors game that isn't pocket money. What the fuck, guys? What is wrong with you?"
Yep. Yeah, now that Vampire Survivors is officially released at $5, people can crank up the price to $5, but most people stick with 3.
Yeah.
So buy this along with all the other thousands of Vampire Survivors clones.
Do it because you, like us, you have no life.
Yeah, you want to be addicted.
Remember, it's cheaper than crack.